Hey.
You know what's funny, man? First of all, good morning.
Good morning. Top of the morning.
Funny thing is, like, the Eagles, we lose like in the world, right? I just watched Dallas get smoked. Right? And nobody want to talk about it. Right? But the Eagles, is it panicking? Is it over for us? No. We should be 2-0, but we're not. We're 1-1. Cool. Okay? We're still a favorite to win the division, right? We lost by, 1 point? And our best player on the field, Saquon Barkley, missed a 1-yard pass to seal the game, which if we throw him that pass 10 times, he's going to catch 9 of those,
A.J.
right?
Brown didn't play.
So, and then our best player, right, that was my best player, didn't even play, A.J. Brown.
Talk about it too
I had a chance to talk to him yesterday, and he said, thank God I ain't play. Because the Falcons couldn't contain me, right? They had a hard time watching Devontae Smith. So you can imagine what they did with A.J. Brown. So I'm not panicking at all. I mean, it's the early season, right? We're trying to, new coordinators on both sides, defense and offense, trying to figure everything out. We're going to be fine, though. All I'm saying is if you need the Eagles to lose by a talented Saquon Barkley missing a 1-yard pass, the league's in trouble.
Ooh.
The league is in trouble.
That is a good point, Chase. Daniel, what you think? Is it too early to panic for the Eagles?
I mean, no, but it's getting there a little bit, just a little bit. Look, they're 1-1. You don't know who you are as a team until your 4th, 5th, 6th game into the year. I think the Eagles, we talked about it yesterday in the show, I think they have one of the most talented rosters in the NFL, including defense. I know your point to it yesterday. You didn't think so. And you're going to get to that later. A little teaser right there. But here's my issue, guys. They're 2-7 in their last 9. All right, the Eagles have blown 4 leads in the final 2 minutes of games since the start of last season. It is the most in the NFL.
Give me that again.
The Eagles have blown 4 leads in the final 2 minutes of the game since the start of last season. It's tied for most in the NFL. So there's a little bit of a strategy issue, and we talked about it from a coaching perspective, how you view these games. You got to put it on players. You call the plays, you got to play. At the end of the day, though, yesterday or 2 days ago when the Eagles played, like, you got to have the decision to kick the field goals. Like, if you kick the field goals, Shady, right, y'all are 2-0, and we're sitting here, you're waving your flag. We're happy, right? Like, everything's going, you're crazy, you're spiking the ball. And rightfully so, because it's those little bitty details in the NFL, right? Almost every game, that's what Andy Reid used to tell me, and Sean Payton, almost every game comes down to you could really just watch the last 4 minutes of the game. And that is the defining moment. So if the Eagles have 4 blown leads in the final 2 minutes, at some point you got to start talking about coaching, what we need to do, how we need to fix it, what we need to do on defense to not just sit back and play cover 2. Do we like the play call? Do we like the decision on 3rd and 4 to throw it or to run it when you had 9 straight 3rd and 3 or less is where you've run it and you've gotten the first down? So that's the decision-making issue that I have. I'm not worried about them now. But if this trend continues, they're 2-7 in the last 9 games.
I am worried.
Hold on, not worried. You're panicked. You panicked?
It's panic.
I'm both.
It's panic.
I'm both.
Okay.
I'm both. Why? Because the Eagles may have a Super Bowl team, but they don't have a Super Bowl secondary in large part because of the youth. They don't have Super Bowl linebackers in large part because they are unproven. And Colvin, as we get ready to show this, they do not have a Super Bowl pass rush. I am worried. Now, Colvin, if we can show the tape, please, so we can stop delaying the people. This is the $50 million pass rusher that the Eagles have acquired. This is the 3rd pass rush of the game. I'm not cherry picking. I will show you more. I am worried because this is Bryce Huff. He has not registered a statistic all game. And why hasn't he registered a statistic? In large part because he hasn't yet been able to defeat the ground. People, this is the 3rd rush of the game. I need you to get sacks. But Acho, he just slipped.
He's wearing the wrong cleats, Acho.
That is
He's
fair.
wearing the wrong cleats.
Let me talk to you about this. Vic Fangio's system and most defensive systems are predicated upon this one fact I'm about to tell you. Defensive ends must whoop tight ends. I'll say it again. Defensive ends must whoop tight ends. What is happening here? If a tight end blocks you in pass protection, you better make him regret the day he was born. You can't be like Velcro and stick to the blocker. They gonna start calling you Velcro momentarily because you're sticking to every offensive lineman that opposes you. I'm worried because if that is supposed to be the $50 million pass rusher, where the $50 million pass rush is. I haven't seen a two-hand swipe. I haven't seen an in-out-in. I haven't seen an out-in-out. I haven't seen a long arm. I haven't seen a speed to power. I haven't seen a dip rip. I haven't seen a dip spin. I haven't seen much of anything from this Eagles pass rush. As a result, I'm panicked. Because if you don't have a Super Bowl pass rush, how can you have a Super Bowl team. I'm worried.
Yeah.
One sack on Kirk Cousins, who had an Achilles surgery.
Bruh.
Like one sack, and he wasn't even pressured. Now, that's the strength of their team.
Shady McCoy,
But-
do you know who leads the Eagles in pressures from the defensive line?
I can guess. Yeah, I hate it.
I can tell you
My
one.
boy, though, Brandon Graham.
BG,
Brandon Graham.
you know what? They only have 6 pressures on
Brandon
defense this
Graham.
entire year.
Y'all,
Aiden Hutchinson had 6 alone.
Oldest dude on the
Brandon
team.
Graham was drafted
Ballin'.
before me. He
Oldest
might
dude
have
on
been
the team.
drafted, was he drafted a year or so after Shady?
He's my young boy, man.
You know, I say, like, at 36 years old, that's the leading pressure man for the Eagles. I am panicked. I'm worried. I'm concerned. James Jones, what are you?
It's a good take, man. They do got to fix that defensive side of the ball. But I am zero panicked. Zero.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, no.
Number one, I know we argued about the play call, right? And you can believe what you want to believe. If they hand that ball off, they 2-0. That's number one. I seen them go beat a really good Packers football team. The Packers are going to be a really good football team.
Yeah, that did happen.
They went out there, they turned the football over 3 times and still scored 30-plus points and beat a really good Packers football team. The reason why I say no panic, because this is one of those team meetings you walk in and you just show a couple of those plays, all right? Come on, man. All right. This play, that play, we win the ball game, all right? And I know that probably a lot of teams could walk in there and do that, but we shot ourselves in the foot and lost that game on us.
Sure.
There's nothing the Atlanta Falcons did in that football game to win that football game, especially in the end of the game, if we handle what we are supposed to handle. So they are a handoff away from being 2-0. So I have no room to panic right now. I'm sitting here. The Philadelphia Eagles have a new defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator. We talk about identity. I don't think they really know what they want to be yet. You're missing your best player in A.J. Brown, right? So I know you want to get it to Saquon, but your quarterback looks fresh. He's running the ball well. He's throwing the ball well. So I think you still got to find your groove and your niche in that. So I'm not panicked about the Eagles yet. You got to play like this and lose games like this consistently.
Don't panic, James. Don't panic.
I ain't gonna panic.
I like that, though.
I ain't gonna panic.
Right?
Yeah.
Be optimistic about this season.
Good, Woosah.
My biggest question and concern was the quarterback and what he looked like. He looked solid. Game 1, he threw some picks, right? But he looked solid overall. And then even against Atlanta, he looked solid. I was worried about, was he healthy?
Yeah.
Is he still gonna run? I see the explosion. I see the quickness. I see him getting out of the pocket. I'm happy. And A.J. Brown didn't even play. So all I'm saying is, every week we're gonna talk about Brock Purdy later on, but if I'm going to war, if I'm going to battle, I need my best lieutenants. I need my best soldiers with me. And well, A.J. Brown's gonna be back. So we got A.J. Brown, we got all the offense. The defense gonna get better because they're young. I think with young defensive players, they need to get like the reps, right? Rookies, hey, how it is on, cause like simple things, like 2-minute drill, don't let the ball get out of bounds. They have no more timeouts. That's something you can coach on. We gonna be fine though.
To your point, the offense is 5th in points per game.
Ooh, I didn't even make that up.
Almost 28. So we're averaging almost 4 touchdowns a game. You made a good point. I want to go back to it. You said, hey, in the film room, if we're showing these 3 to 4 plays, right, we can win the game. After the game, though, there was multiple Eagles that said that after the game, head coach Nick Sirianni didn't even talk to the team. It was a player-led meeting. Okay, it was a player. How do you feel about a player-led meeting in the second week of the season, though? Like, how do we feel about that?
That's
'Cause it was
accountability. What's wrong with that?
I'm just saying the thoughts on it, because if right now they're not panicking inside, and that's Nick Sirianni's job. He gave up offensive play calling. Okay, that's his job to talk to the team and to be the motivator that they need. If you're not talking to the team, you're not motivating the team, you're not calling offensive plays, you're strategizing, and we talked about how bad the strategizing was, and the defense, you have nothing to do with that. Like, what are you doing?
So hold up. So if the quarterback is considered like a coach, right? We got a superstar quarterback. He's looked like as a coach on the field, correct? So if our quarterback is speaking up, because that's who talked about it. They said that Jalen Hurts stepped in the middle and had a conversation with the players. One of them coaches involved is the players. I like that. I like that my captain, my leader is taking advantage and taking opportunity to talk. It's like, yo, that's on us. That ain't no coaches, right? If you look at this game, I know James saying if we run the ball, we win the game. But if we're in a group, we're like, look, that's on me, y'all. I'm Saquon. You heard what he said? That's on me. So now I don't need a coach to tell us that, because the guy next to me that I bleed for, that I fight for, that I'm in the battle with every single play is saying, yo, I got us next time. I'd rather have that then a coach talk to us.
Here's my dilemma. It's rarely in life, in sports, and Shady, you know this, Chase James, rarely do you actually get to see how something would have played out. We always say, like, I wonder what would have happened if LeBron played Jordan. I wonder what would have happened if. But we saw that. Y'all remember, we all got a group chat. I'll let y'all inside to it. Kirk Cousins got the ball week 1 with about 3 minutes left and the opportunity to go down and score versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I texted the group chat and I simply said, let's see what Kirk Cousins got. Within a minute, I texted the group chat and said, well, why? Because the Steelers picked off Kirk Cousins. Yeah. Kirk Cousins got the ball with 1:40 seconds left versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I again texted the group chat, let's see what Kirk Cousins got. There was no whelp this time. Yeah. This time the Eagles lost. Football games are decided by those pivotal minutes. We saw the Steelers, we saw the Eagles, both with the lead. Both had to stop Kirk Cousins. One defense was able to do it, one defense was not. Yeah. Clearly, I'm the lone defender here, so I could probably care more about defense than all of you just by nature of what it's given me in my life and what I've given to it. But I can't look at this Eagles defense, Shady, James, and Chase, and say, I'm not panicked.
But first off, it's different teams, right? Because when you look at the Steelers, what you panicked about?
The offense.
Thank you. So when you look at the Eagles, what you panicked about?
Defense.
Thank
but
you.
I'm panicked nonetheless.
So my thing is when Kirk Cousins got the ball, the Pittsburgh Steelers is looking like, this our strength. Yeah. We got the pass rusher. Right. We got the DBs, everything you just showed. So we want to be in this situation. The Eagles, they want to be the Kirk Cousins. They want the ball with, to go down and win the game. So it's different situations.
Jalen Hurts did get the ball. Now, I'm no math wizard, but I would suggest having the ball with 35 seconds and 2 timeouts is probably equivalent to having the ball with a minute and change and no timeouts. Right, Kirk Cousins had the ball with a minute and no timeouts, 1:30, no timeouts. He scored in 1:02. Jalen Hurts had the ball with 35 seconds and 2 timeouts. We end the game with an interception. Shady knows better than anybody. Jake Elliott, the Eagles kicker, get him to the
And we already needed 15 yards.
That's it.
That's tough.
And we throw an interception.
That is a very difficult situation.
So I'm just, no doubt about it. So was Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
So was Kirk Cousins.
No timeouts.
I'm just suggesting, like, the reason I'm panicked is, y'all, that game should have been won. And it could have been won. Yeah. And they lost it. And they've lost 7 of their last.
So my thing, I never look at losses like, we lost this game. It's a lesson. I think going forward, right, and I love the play call that Nick, called at the end of the game. Yeah. But let's say if next time, hey, look, we got a chance to ice the game away, right, or run it. We can run it, and it'll be something different. Please. So you learn from every situation. And another thing is, as the players, even like the player-only meeting they had, it's like, okay, now we're all accountable. So Jalen Hurts throwing that pick, that's on me. Yeah. So now
I guess it's better earlier in the year.
Every single game, I feel like now everybody is more accountable for this.
But not only that, I love it too because I think Jalen Hurts feels what y'all saying. 2-7 over their last game. So for me, I'm a leader, right? Coaches, watch out. The same stuff ain't finna go on that went on last year, how we finished the season. We lost a lot of these close games last year by our mistakes on the football field. Yeah. It ain't finna start week 2. Yep. I love it. Charles Woodson used to do it all the time. I got it, Coach Mike. Hey, listen here, all right? Defense didn't play well. Offense, y'all didn't either. All right, this is what we need to do. That's leadership, man. That's why they got this. You see that C?
That's right.
That's why they got that.
And a dude like Andy Reid, like as good as we think he is, he don't be sitting up there coaching everybody like after the game. Yeah. You did this wrong. He don't do that. The players, the Patrick Mahomes stuff. Yo, y'all need to do better. We need to do better. It's on me. 100%. That's how it usually works.
Well, speaking of captains, the Niners are without a couple of them. Because Christian McCaffrey, he's hurt. Deebo Samuel, he's hurt. But Chase, you said something interesting yesterday that had me thinking this might be the best conversation yet. Let's take a listen to what Chase had to say.
This is a chance for Brock Purdy to prove to the world that this isn't about Kyle Shanahan, that this isn't about Deebo Samuel, that this isn't about the weapons, that you can actually take a team on your back, put them, carry them.
So here's been the dilemma about Brock Purdy. People are saying they're going to have to pay him $60 million, Shady, next year because that's what he's earned. Been to a Super Bowl, been to an NFC Championship game. But once you pay him, he'll be without his stars, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey. This is an audition, people are suggesting, for Brock Purdy to show he's worth the $60 million because he won't be able to afford his stars once they're paid. I ask you this, James. Are the injuries actually a blessing in disguise for Purdy? Because now he can prove to everybody, even without them, I can still ball.
They're not a blessing in disguise, but it is an opportunity for him to prove, not to the 49ers, because the 49ers know what type of quarterback Brock Purdy is. They see him every day in practice, right? They drafted him even though he was the last pick in the draft. They know exactly who Brock Purdy is, and that's why they're going to pay him. This is an audition, and it sounds crazy, for us. And the reason why I say that is because everybody, the world keeps saying that's not inside that building, breaking down the all 22, seeing where the football's supposed to go, knowing what play is called, right? On the outside looking in, we continue to keep saying and probably hating on Purdy because of all these weapons, saying, hey, man, bet he can't win with all this, bet he can't win with all this. So this is really for us on the outside looking in. Can Purdy go out here and deliver without 2 of his top 2 weapons, right? And once he checks that box off, there's really nothing else anybody can say. And I don't really care how much money the Niners pay him, but there's really nothing else anybody can say about Brock Purdy, even if he does lose a couple games. So I think him going out there playing well without these dudes checks the box for everybody else. But the Niners know what Purdy is. The Niners know how good Purdy is. The man done went to the NFC Championship and to the Super Bowl. They know how good he is.
Because I hate these conversations, though. Like, who the hell would want to play without their star players, though? Right? This dude, he's not Patrick Mahomes, and he's not Josh Allen. Right? Those are the only quarterbacks, in my opinion, that go out there and just win with anybody. Right? Like, a while back with Zeke Elliott, when he was with the Cowboys, right? This is when he first came on the scene. And everybody's like, man, he had the best lineman. Them holes are so big. That's why he's getting busy. And I'm thinking, like, yo, he's doing everything he's supposed to do with that line. I go back to when I was with the Eagles. I had about my best year was like 600 yards. I was getting crazy busy, all pro and all that. And I went to Buffalo. It was way harder. I got busy also, but I'm like, yo, I wish I could go back to Philadelphia because I had so much more talent. When Deshaun Jackson's out on the outside, the safeties are deep. Yeah. But when they hurt Sammy Watkins out there, they in the box. I think about, like, if Brock Purdy's at his best, it might not be without Debo, without McCaffrey. Brandon Ayuk has come back from not being in training camp. He wants his best players. Why do we see Brock Purdy his best at the Super Bowl, at NFC Championship games. And why is that? Because I have so much weapons around me. I don't know no player that wants to play with guys not that good. That don't make no sense.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, are injuries ever a blessing in disguise? Like, no. And like you said, you want your guys out there, but what these injuries...
Sometimes injuries is blessing in disguise.
Where? How?
Brett Favre came in, quarterback got hurt. That's it.
All right.
He ain't no
Tom Brady.
He ain't no Tom Brady.
We're not talking about that right now.
I didn't say you said injuries. I'm like, it is a blessing.
We're talking about Brock Purdy. And in my opinion, he's going to have to grow not only on the field with his play, but with his mind. He's going to have a lot more pressure. We got some play right here. If you remember, he told Brian Flores at the end of the game, hey, your scheme is crazy. So let's just talk about what this is happening. Here's Harrison Smith right here, all right? Brock Purdy's under center. They're in a strong alignment, strong left alignment, all right? So here's what happens. Oh, man, all right, they're going to go to quarters because they were talking, James and I were talking, they were playing 4 press, which means they're a quarters coverage team, all right? So Brock's going to say, hey, you know what? I got something for you, okay? I'm going to end up checking right here, go to shotgun. I'm going to check to a quarters play, all right? So here's the fullback. Here's Kittle. Let's get over there, all right? Only problem is...
What's the problem, Chase?
Here we go. Oh, my gosh. What does this look like, James? Cover zero. You just check to a 5-man protection, and it's cover zero. Brock Purdy, what are you going to do? Because here's what you had on the sheet. You had a sail route and a pylon route with a dagger route coming in. You don't have any hots. So, Brock Purdy, what are you going to do? Hey, Chase, guess what? I know what they're going to do. Oh, my gosh, they're going back to cover 2. They're not in quarters, so I checked to a quarters beater. Harrison Smith is an invert guy. This corner is going back to the deep half. That safety's right there. So now they're playing a 5-man rush. They end up dropping this guy right here, but they're playing cover 2. Chase, there's so many checks. You checked, we checked, I checked. What am I going to do? I'm just going to trust my feet, right? This sail concept right here, that's covered, right, by Harrison Smith. This pylon, nope, leverage. Debo Samuel, what are you going to do? Watch his pocket movement right here. Just easily finds his guy for a good catch. That's what he's going to have to show the rest of the year, dude. Like, Debo Samuel's out. He's 0-3 without Debo Samuel. But the pressure on him to play like that every single snap is on. Yes, the scheme is going to be good, but at the end of the day, I'm seeing in the last 2 games of Brock Purdy, they are controlling the line of scrimmage. He's gotten more say at the line of scrimmage. He's getting in and out of plays like that. And that's what I love about Brock Purdy.
So you think he'll be fine? You think he'll be fine over this stretch?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think this is a blessing in disguise, but I also want to dismantle the myth that the Niners are going to be without talent once Brock Purdy gets paid.
Because he still do got it.
Like, for those that don't realize, Talanoa Hufanga was a 5th-round pick, All-Pro. Fred Warner, a 3rd-round pick, future Hall of Famer. George Kittle was a 5th-round pick, all-pro. The Niners know how to draft, particularly late in the draft. So to say that the Niners will be without talent once Brock Purdy gets paid is ignorant, it's uneducated, it's uninformed, and it has a lack of research as it pertains to the San Francisco 49ers.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.